How does an innocent child become the world's worst evil dictator, killing at least 6 million Jews during World War II? Let's begin by examining Adolf Hitler's youth. Adolf Hitler, Adi, as he was nicknamed, was born on April 20th, 1889 in Bremen on Inn. This town is located on a riverbank separating Germany and Austria. He lived in the small town of Bremen on with his older brother and sister from his dad's previous marriage. Adolf's dad was rumored to be a strict disciplinarian with a cruel attitude. His mother, Claire Hitler, was his father's third wife. She was very loving and doting and spoiled young Adi. Adi was actually one of six children his mother gave birth to. However, he was one of the only three that made it through the first 2 years of life. His family lived in the Pomer Inn for several years, after which time his dad was transferred to Hafeld, Austria, where they would live on a small farm for several years. When Adolf's dad retired, the family eventually left their farm and moved to Lombach, Austria, where Hitler attended a Catholic Benedictine monastery. It was there that he would be surrounded by the swastika for the first time. He loved the monastery and actually considered becoming a monk. As a child, young Adolf was very interested in cowboys and spent much of his time reading books and featuring cowboys and played games imagining he was a cowboy. He also became obsessed with his dad's collection of war books. Stop. The family moved several times during Adolf's youth, ending up in a small town of Leonding near Linz, Austria. After Adolf completed regular school, Adolf's father sent him to a technical school where he did poorly and was held back several times. Young Adolf wished to go to classical school because he really wanted to learn to become an artist in architecture. The death of his father in 1903 changed Hitler's life for the better and worse. While he gained the ability to make his own life choices, he did not listen to any guidance. He had no father, had very few friends, and did not respect the opportunities provided by his family. Hitler's siblings and his father's friends offered him employment on several occasions, all of which he rejected. Hitler stopped trying in school entirely and eventually dropped out. At this point, Hitler lived his life doing whatever he wanted. He did not work and spent his inheritance on theatrical and artistic things as well as on vacations. It was on one of these tours when Hitler discovered Vienna. Hitler loved all the architectural and cultural opportunities in Vienna, including the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. Once he returned home, he decided to move to Vienna and pursued entry into the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. Once Hitler moved to Vienna, his mother became extremely ill with breast cancer. Hitler visited his mother but continued to pursue entry of the academy. Eventually, Hitler's mother's condition worsened, and even with the experimental treatment, Hitler's beloved mother died. Even though Hitler was extremely upset over losing both his parents, Hitler remained in Vienna pursuing admittance to the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. He exhausted all of his inheritance and was left with no source of income. He made one final effort to be admitted to the Vienna Academy, but was utterly rejected. When his only friend Kubizek gained entry into a different arts academy in Vienna, Hitler left their apartment and they never spoke again because Hitler left no information for him to find. Some would even say in the autumn of 1909, Hitler drifted downwards until he hit rock bottom. Hitler joined a group of homeless people in Vienna who were fed by a Jewish family who also helped sell postcards that Hitler made. While homeless in Vienna, Hitler's anger became so large that he looked for someone or something to blame for his poor life choices. At this time in Vienna, many people had anti-Semitic viewpoints, which he adopted so well. He and many of the other homeless went to meetings to discuss their hate and to blame Jews for all social, political, and economic issues. It was when he joined the 16th Bavarian Infantry Regiment in the May of 1913 during World War I that Hitler discovered German nationalism. His work as a well-known message runner resulted in his award of the Iron Cross. He kept to himself mostly, but some remember him getting angry when other soldiers questioned Germany's methods in the war. He blamed the Jews for not joining the war and for hurting the war effort by making Germany surrender. After the war, an injured Hitler blamed the Jews for all of Germany's problems and took it himself to rebuild Germany. How did Hitler's cruel childhood make him turn out the way he actually did? Why didn't he have anyone to help him through the things he had to go through? This could have all been avoided if he just had the child welfare services that we have today.